The news had not made it out until this week that Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez actually had a joint meeting with Turki Alalshik, and the chose to make social media at different days was to terminate news about a brawl that happened in the presence of the Saudi boxing mogul. Crawford had been waiting quietly to see if Saudi boxing chief Turki Alalshik could lure Alvarez into a lucrative deal to secure the clash, and it only made sense that all three met together. The aim of the meeting was to put aside the nose of the media and have a real talk about what they could all do to make the fight happen. Canelo was a little difficult and unrealistic with his prices, which frustrated Terence Crawford and got him into a short war of words with Canelo Alvarez.
Be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkaraj know each other, and then we wanna see what happened.
And when
As it was about to get out of hand, Turki Alalshik interfered, and only after that did Canelo bring his prices down and make an agreement possible. This was soon before the pair attended the Ring Magazine Awards in London this weekend, and both held talks with the influential Alalshik. Immediately, a report from renowned ESPN knockout journalist Julius Julianus has suggested the pair have already reached a deal.
Named you and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see every.
He says that the pair are both set to meet in September in Las Vegas after the talks progressed quickly and overseen this weekend. Alalshik himself looked to hint at exactly that, telling Ring Magazine the ring is the Bible of boxing and we are close to seeing the white smoke on the horizon. 2025 will be a crazy year for boxing, and I mean it. Alalshik had previously put talks on hold, having struggled to break an impasse with Alvarez on the possible fight, but both fighters were seen posing with Alalshik after talks, a sign that things had taken a step in the positive direction.
We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well, and figure out something.
I know you thought he was kind of a lose-lose.
A showdown between the two gifted operators would be one of the most mouth-watering possibilities in the sport. Currently, the highly anticipated clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to dominate boxing headlines, while the fight has yet to be officially confirmed. The thought of these two pound-for-pound titans colliding in the ring has captivated fans worldwide. Canelo last fought in September, successfully protecting his unified super middleweight titles against Edgar Berlanga. Crawford, meanwhile, recently moved up to 150 pounds, defeating Israel Madrimov to win the World Boxing Association Super Welterweight Championship.
There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
we shall see.
The fight was initially speculated shortly after but dethroned World Boxing Association light middleweight champion Israel Madrimov last August, adding 150 pounds to the other 3 weight divisions that he has won world titles in. Shortly after Crawford's victory over Madrimov of last summer, Canelo made another successful defense of his World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization super middleweight titles, picking up another comprehensive win in a division that he has dominated since 2021.
To come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know.
As both fighters gear up for what could be the biggest fight of their respective careers, the 39-year-old two-time undisputed champion has already spoken out and sent a word of warning. Canelo is speaking on social media. Crawford vowed to shock the world and claim victory over the Mexican superstar, and they finally fight. I am a shock the world. Watch, the best is yet to come. I had it in my back pocket this whole time.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'll be a well fought.
Although he remains confident, it is going to be a monumental task for Bud, who will have to move up to weight divisions ahead of facing the 34-year-old Mexican, who has enjoyed tremendous success during his campaign at super middleweight, defeating the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Caleb Plant, and Jermall Charlo. Despite the weight difference between the two fighters, the potential for this super fight remains a hot topic of conversation.
Both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step in the ring with.
Amir Khan, the only boxer to have faced both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, gave his unique perspective on this potential showdown in an interview with Box Nation. Amir Khan, who fought Canelo at a catch weight of 155 pounds, acknowledged the significant weight advantage that Canelo would hold. "Canelo is a beast man. I fought both of those guys, and I feel that size always wins. Having weight divisions, there's a reason behind that." Khan explained Terence is special. "Don't get me wrong, but then there's getting hit by a guy like Canelo." World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization super middleweight king Canelo Alvarez punches Edgar Berlanga during the second round of a title fight at T-Mobile Arena on September 14, 2024, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast at that weight. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Khan, who suffered a sixth-round stoppage loss to Alvarez, emphasized the physicality of meeting the Mexican superstar. "What a fight that would be. Though, I'll root for my boy Terence and want him to win that fight, but it would be hard." Does he need that fight? No, I don't think he does. He's done so well in his job and beaten everyone. He's unbeatable, one of the best out there, pound for pound. But if it's a big payday, I get why it would be made. Why take a risky fight for less money when you can take a seriously hard fight for serious money despite the risks? Khan praised Crawford's skill, noting that he has the ability to compete at the highest level. However, he repeated the potential dangers of such a matchup, adding, "We never want to see fighters get hurt." Amid the growing speculation, Canelo Alvarez addressed the reports with a brief but intriguing response: "I'm open to talk." While his forward message leaves room for interpretation, it has only stoked the excitement among boxing fans, suggesting that this megafight might be closer to becoming a reality. When they face off in September, Shakur Stevenson thinks Terence Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez and can make it a very easy fight. Stevenson, the World Boxing Council lightweight champion, says that for years he's been saying that Crawford will defeat Canelo.
As a Canelo and obviously your good friend, mentor, Terence Crawford, a lot of people a few years ago would have said that's crazy, but I think everybody, when they see the talent of Terence Crawford...
Crawford, the World Boxing Association champion in the 154-pound light middleweight division, has promised to put on 14 pounds to fight in the highly anticipated bout, which would probably be the highest-paying day of his career. Stevenson was sure in his response when asked if he thinks Crawford will win that matchup. "I've been saying this for years now. I'm possibly the first one that has been saying this even before Terence was saying this. I always thought that is Crawford's style versus Canelo. I think he beats Canelo," said Shakur Stevenson. In talking about sports boxing, makes it seem like Terence Crawford will stand toe-to-toe and trade blows with Canelo Alvarez in September. However, that situation seems unlikely given Crawford's usual role when facing powerful punchers.
He's a special fighter, pound for pound. I think many will say #1 in the world, alongside the likes of people like yourself and that great list that we've got at the minute. Is he the man to beat Canelo?
He usually relies on movement, utilizing his jab and leaping in to land shots before quickly repositioning. Crawford doesn't stay stationary or participate in relentless attacks. His aggressive performance against Errol Spence was more of an exception, partly because Spence wasn't at his best following his car accident. It would be a little over a year, 13 months. You got to be very careful if you're going to take a fight above 160 pounds because it's a new weight level, said Chris Mannix on his YouTube channel about Terence Crawford taking a tune-up fight. It seems unlikely that Terence Crawford will take the risk of a tune-up fight against a super middleweight before meeting Canelo Alvarez in September. If Crawford does fight in the weight class, it would probably be at a catchweight, potentially around 163 or 164 pounds, against a middleweight moving up. Possible opponents could include Aaron McKenna, Liam Smith, Austin Williams and Caron Davis are fighters who pose minimal threat to Crawford and are ranked lower in the middleweight class. Hall of Famer and ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley Jr. likes Terence Crawford in a matchup with Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Yes, honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally...
Bradley took to his YouTube account to argue in favor of Crawford. Everyone keeps talking about the weight. Bradley said, And indeed, Crawford only recently left welterweight for 154 pounds, while Alvarez has fought at 168 pounds since late 2020. Oh, he's going to knock him out. When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? It has been a while. Alvarez last scored a stoppage against Caleb Plant in November 2021. Since then, he has failed to knock out established foes Dmitry Bivol in a loss and a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin, but he also has gone the distance with opponents thought to be nowhere near his skill level, such as John Ryder, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. Jermall Charlo, naturally a junior middleweight, also went the distance with Canelo, though he was not nearly competitive with the super middleweight king. Y'all can quit with that he's going to knock Crawford out. Come on, man, Bradley said. Didn't we just see somebody? Alexander Usyk fights a guy. Tyson Fury, who was quote-unquote 50 pounds bigger. Canelo's the same height as Crawford. He's not a talent. 168 pounds. Usyk is a great fighter. Absolutely. But you know who else is a great one? Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out.
He told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez.
Bradley noted Crawford's reach of 74 inches, 3.5 inches longer than Canelo's, and his ability to reduce his opponent's output with his counterpunching. Alvarez is already a low-output fighter. Bradley thinks Crawford can win a decision by working from distance using straight shots in between Alvarez's spinning hooks and tiring Canelo out down the stretch. Don't go running away from the fight. Now, Canelo, Bradley, referring to the joint super middleweight title holder's apparent avoidance of David Benavidez, imitating Canelo's higher-pitched woes, said, "Remember what you said. Easy fight, easy fight, easy fight, easy fight." Though a clump of analytical boxing minds share Bradley's opinion that most in the fight game think the size and power difference is too great for Crawford to impose his skills.
Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro.
Bradley, known for his strong points of view, is sure in his unpopular take. "I'm going to get back to my Haterade," he announced towards the end of the video, sipping his drink. You already know whether the boxing world will get to know a Canelo-Crawford matchup would seem to be up to Alvarez-Crawford, who became the undisputed welterweight champion in July 2023 after stopping division foe Errol Spence Jr. inside 9 rounds. He made even more history for himself earlier this year when he became a 4-division champion, appointing Israel Madrimov to win the World Boxing Association title at 154 pounds. Mexican star Canelo has also enjoyed his fair share of success in recent years. After picking up the undisputed super middleweight title in 2021, he fell short in a challenge against the then World Boxing Association light heavyweight champion, Dmitry Bivol, but the 34-year-old has since picked up 5 wins on the spin, defeating the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jermall Charlo, and Edgar Berlanga. Along the way, legendary boxing trainer turned analyst Teddy Atlas has offered his input to Fight Hub TV into the potential mega fight between the two stars, stating that he would find it hard to go against the American southpaw. "Very few people have the appetite or aptitude for challenging themselves. Mr. Crawford does. I ain't never going against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch."
Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started it.
It's a great challenge, because Canelo is a tremendous fighter and bigger and stronger, and he can punch and time you, but just because you're smaller, Crawford will come up with a game plan that will make the other guy use his size. Brian McIntyre has led Terence Crawford to world titles in for weight divisions, and he'll be hoping he can lead him in a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Crawford defeated Israel Madrimov to become ruler at 150 for PBS, and he's now aiming a fight against the Mexican icon. Crawford has accomplished many big things in boxing, but victory over Canelo would be his biggest accomplishment. The super middleweight world champion has only felt defeat twice against Dmitry Bivol and Floyd Mayweather, and it's the Bivol battle that McIntyre will be studying if a fight between Crawford and Canelo takes place. He made him move his feet. If the fight ever materializes, that's the fight that I would go back and watch. said McIntyre, regarding Canelo versus Bivol when speaking on the Luke Thomas YouTube show.
Listen, I think Belanga's a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a talented kid.
Look at Mayweather versus Canelo too. WBN thinks that Crawford's name is on a shortlist for the Mexican superstar after months of media coverage of the clash. Crawford has shown persistence in pursuing the matchup, ready to move up to weight classes to prove his dominance. Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he would face against Canelo, admitting that size will play a crucial role in the fight. However, he remains confident in his ability to overcome this challenge and impose his boxing style. Some analysts have expressed skepticism about Crawford's ability to fight effectively super middleweight. This comes in part from his most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which lacked the dominant display many expected. Regardless of these concerns, the potential fight between Canelo and Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans. The blend of power, speed, skill, and charisma from both fighters sets the stage for what could be an unforgettable spectacle. Canelo Alvarez has created a tradition of having two fights a year, in May and September, the latter on the weekend that celebrates Mexico's independence. Since 2022, he has scheduled his fights in these 2 months, and it is believed that he will do so again, so it is more intriguing who will be his next opponent due to the lack of interest in accepting the challenge of David Benavidez, the mandatory World Boxing Council 168B challenger. Terence Crawford looks like a good option for Saul Alvarez, his first fight of the year, although it seems that the fight is more media than competitive, as Crawford fights at 154 pounds, the super welterweight, 2 categories below that of the Guadalajara native. However, both Crawford and Sheikh Turki Alalshik are trying to convince Alvarez to accept a fight for which he was asking for $150 million, given how unconvincing the fight against Terence Crawford could be in sports terms and the evasiveness against Benavidez today, at 175 pounds. Saul Alvarez could have other interesting choices to open 2025 in the ring. Another name that has been suggested for Canelo is Christian Billy, a 29-year-old Frenchman with an undefeated 28-0 record who, in his last fight, defeated Sergey Dorenko in August and would be a contender for the World Boxing Council. The possibility that in September was already ruled out was William Skull, 23-0, the International Boxing Federation challenger, a body that removed the undisputed tag from the Mexican for refusing to fight the Cuban and stripped him of his world title. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, McIntyre gave a glowing reference to the undefeated Crawford, who is linked to fighting Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the tools to win a third-way, undisputed crown. Any serious boxing fan knows Crawford can beat Canelo. You have to know boxing to be able to say that. Brian Bomack. McIntyre polled Fight Hub.
What's your thoughts on that?
Let's go. Hey, that's a challenge to me too, as a trainer. I want to try to, outthink Eddie Reynoso over there. It's real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Hey, Terrence go get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
On Conor Benn's performance, he added, "I think he looked like trash. I didn't watch the fight. Some of the teachers were watching it as I was driving. They just said he looked like trash. I know Pete Dobson really well, and he gave him a tough fight, but I don't think much of him. Ben. I really don't know him. I hear his name asked about Ben saying he wants a tank." Gervonta Davis next. McIntyre reply, "Why would he go down there and pick on guys at 135 and 141? Why not mess with guys at 147 and call those guys out? If you really want to fight somebody, fight the best." Airing his thoughts on Tim Chu versus Keith Thurman, Bomack said, "I think it's going to be a good fight. Tissue has the advantage because Keith has been out for a while. It's going to be a tough fight to call right now, but I can see the fight going towards Tissue just because he has the momentum. Thurman has not got momentum because it is just like riding a bike, and Thurman has been at that high level for many years." What are your thoughts on Crawford switching weight classes to meet Canelo Alvarez? Who do you think wins the matchup? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and acts in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.